What's going on? What's going on? I'd like to welcome everybody back. Like to definitely welcome everybody back. We in here. We in here once again. In here once again. Like to salute and welcome everybody. I know how I always do. Give a special shout out to the early bird squad, even though we not all that early today. It's kind of a late show today. But I'm gonna get into it real fast because I don't know how long I'm gonna be here because I got some shit I got to do, got some other business I got to take care of. But for those of you that make it in bright and early and drop the comments right out the gate, you know how we do it. Shout out to the early bird squad, my man Bounty Thug in the building, Jedi Mac, 3D Burns, Aaron B. What's going on? Excalibur, cut to the chase, says we in here for the grown man hour 100. Bang bang, what's going on? He says, what's up, Bernard in chat? New came through, says it's hump day. Brian Randall says, what's up, everyone? What's going on? We got Black Caesar in the building. Says, what's good, fam? David Monroe, the Hood Conservative is in the building. Says, wow, I was just listening to the Angry Man Obsidian Fallout show. That was some dope shit. You late on that one, man. You late. You are very late. You said best 100 ever spent? Huh? You spent 100 on what did I miss something? I don't recall that, but I mean, I don't know. You got to clarify that one. Are you saying you like super chatted 100? I don't. Normally, I remember everybody to do that. So what you mean best 100 you ever spent? Let me check my Cash App. What are you talking about? Best 100 you ever spent? Got me a little curious on that one. Asian Sama in the building. What's going on? Jedi Mac once again. Shout out to Jedi Mac once again. Kill Deuce in the building. What's going on? Sugar G. What's going on? Says good morning, Bernard and everyone joining the grown man hour. Yeah, we're about to get into it. About to get into it. I do got to do a somewhat follow up to the last show. Platinum Elite in the building. What's going on? He says they got more gay black dudes than black dudes in Hollywood. That ain't even where I'm going. That ain't even where I'm going. Rowdy Bennett, Tampa Supreme. Okay, yeah. I'm talking about AM. He's a David Monroe, the cool. Hood sir. I don't know why I'm fucking with David Monroe. He says I'm talking about AM dropping 100 to flip the tables over. Awesome. Yeah. I don't discuss that. But yeah, it was a wild one. It was a wild one. But I tend not to discuss all of that. Tend not to discuss all of that. Tend to keep things moving forward. Tend to keep things moving forward. But I do got to do a going backwards follow up show because I received an email and I didn't want to do essentially the same show 2 days in a row. But I received an interesting email from an individual. And I'm about to do some screen sharing real quick. Sister George, you are one bullshit comment away from losing your wrench again. Now, I'm proud of you for going this long. I'm proud of you for conducting yourself like a person and keeping your wrench for this long. But you're getting closer and closer and closer to losing it. You're going to lose it. Every day you try to slip in a little comment that you think I'm not smart enough to see through your manipulative fuckery, where you're basically just trying to give me you're trying to prompt me to talk about the situation. That's all you're trying to do. You throw out something vague. One time she came in here and said, I wonder if Kevin Samuels will be coming back if Obsidian isn't here. Yesterday she said, the shows used to be a little longer when Obsidian was here. Today she says, ask Obsidian if you can keep his intro. Ask Obsidian, I wonder if Obsidian did it. She's just trying to prompt me to talk about it. She want to hear my post-analysis of it all so bad that she just come in here and just throw out little small lines, little breadcrumbs, just hoping I pick some of it up. No. You ain't got it like that over here. You can't just throw out your little small fuckery and think I'm going to acquiesce to it. It ain't happening. You lucky you're getting this much conversation back. The fuck out of here. Bernard Raleigh with KKK duo Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. What do you think? I already reached out to Lil Big Nate, so I want to do that show with Lil Big Nate. I want to do that one with Lil Big Nate. Yeah, I do want to know what he got on that one. So that's what I'm hoping happen. I'm hoping he email me back. So if Lil Big Nate email me back, I'll be doing the show on that. And that's that. And that will be a good one. That will be a good, interesting one. So we shall see. Black Uru Strike says, this is why some people call them hyenas. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. She wake up every morning trying to wake up every morning to earn that title. Yes, she do. She look in the mirror and say, you're going to sprinkle and spread fuckery all over the world today. That's what she does. Thanks, Black Uru, for the super chat. Zaki says, Kamala owned daddy disowned her. I didn't know nothing about that. I don't read up on her like that. Non-ADOS don't play. Notice Indians don't like her either. I did see something on that when somebody pointed out she's really half Indian and half Caribbean or whatever, and it's like, you know, yes, the melanated people from the islands, yes, they would technically, I'm not even getting into that. I consider them black, but I understand culturally they can give two shits. so they're black when convenient, black by popular demand, not black when convenient, you know. So it's I don't know. But then again, Barack was first black president, and he was African. So there's that. So I don't know. Some people questioning the blackness. I'm questioning just the Democrats. Furthermore, patting black people on the head like we stupid, like we don't see what's going on. See, I wasn't even going to get into this. To me and Lil Big Nate got into it, but see, now y'all got me going. All right, this is a move. Not as bad as when John McCain nominated Sarah Palin, because she was a full-blown airhead. Like, they had to give her flashcards that she just had to remember. They had to give her like flashcards, or like she had to commit to memory certain paragraphs. So if they ask her a vague question, not a vague question, if they ask her a very specific question about the war in Iraq or some shit, and it could be a very detailed and specific question, what she would do is just go back to a memorized, rehearsed in the mirror answer, because they figured out that, oh, she really don't know shit. But Barack Obama just whooped Hillary Clinton's ass, so now we gotta get a woman and just put a woman in position to get the bitter, butthurt, jaded broad vote. So they just found a woman and just propped her up and stuck her right there and figured out halfway along the way she didn't know shit. And with John McCain being 173 years old, that was a move to where he clearly put the country second. But in a very Karl Rove, and probably was Karl Rove's idea, when she got up on the stump to speak, they had the tagline, the logo, country first. That's what Republicans have done a good job at. They'll take their weakness and try to sell it as a strength, and take their opponent's strength and sell it as a weakness. That's a Karl Rove tactic. And that's why when Barack was running against McCain, Barack and Michelle, they two of the most down-to-earth people that ever ran for, tried to, that made it into the White House. They really didn't have money until like a few years before they made it in there. They didn't come from wealth, so they were two of the most normal people, not that they were regular common folks, but two of the most normal people that you're going to see as president and first lady. Live two of the most normal lives you're going to see as president and first lady, prior to getting to that level. But they were called elitist. That's what Republicans tried to spin them as they were the elitists, where in all actuality, we know it was it was the other way around. So, but the whole tactic of getting Sarah Palin was just to try to, play on women's ovaries. Their tears, their butthurt tears from Hillary losing, we're just going to try to get female votes and go after Sarah Palin. Well, Joe Biden is doing the same thing, but in a different way. He's trying to get a woman, not just a woman, but a woman of color, as they say, to be the stand-in figurehead to try to immobilize black women. And the perception is that black men are going to follow, all because of we see a little pigmentation and a blackish female up there. We're just gonna follow it. Now, this ain't as bad as what they did with Sarah Palin, because Sarah Palin was a complete airhead. I'm not saying that because she was a woman. I'm saying that because she was dumb as fuck. When Tina Fey impersonated her on Saturday Night Live, she didn't have to really, when that, we can see Russia from my house. I mean, Sarah Palin didn't actually say that, but she might as well at her. They asked her what foreign policy experience do she have, and she talked about Alaska's proximity to Russia. Like, that's not necessarily Kamala, but the selection was made in the same vein. I'm only thinking strategic here. Trump is viewed as a sexist and a racist. I'm going to get a woman who's blackish. And when you're doing like that, that's just furthermore Democrats patting black people on the head like they're stupid. That's, I looked at Kamala Harris, sitting in the White House at a meeting, dancing to Cardi B. It was recorded on purpose. It's not like they just caught her in a candid moment. She's just sitting in the chair, just grooving to some Cardi B. They didn't just catch a candid moment. That wasn't an accident. That was recorded on purpose. It was as deliberate as the hot sauce in the bag. So if you want to know how I feel about it, that's how I feel about it. It's hot. So she just it's hot sauce in the bag, pulling hot sauce out all over again. Hot sauce out, yeah. It's pulling out hot sauce all over again. That's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that. But anyway, y'all got me to talk off topic. This is why some are called old fossils. I have no idea what she's talking about, as usual. I never know what she's talking about. Melody came through with a super sticker, as she normally does. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Oh, and thank you for the super chat, by the way, Sister George. I will thank you for the super chat, even though I don't know what the hell you be talking about and you come in here on some fuckery every day. That I excuse. It's at least subtle fuckery, so I let it ride. I let it ride. Osama Abdul says Charles Dutton from rock fame turned down over 85% of the roles offered to him as he wouldn't depict himself in a negative manner. Great topic, by the way. I did not know The Rock did that. Good information. Good info. Go down. Just put it on the wood. He said, Melody, are we smashing tonight or mode 1, baby? Do we get a reply? Did we get a reply? I got to scroll down. Alright. No, I don't see. I see Melody. Now she's talking to A's and no, god damn it. You not about to leave Falcon Black on red. Fuck that. You gotta give an answer. You gotta give an answer. No, he needs an answer. D-Rock Den with the super sticker. Thank you, I appreciate that. Where you at, Melody? We need an answer. We need an answer. I'm looking. I'm not seeing an answer, Melody. Come on now. All right. Melody, you punking out. Hold on. We got to put this back up on the board. Man asked you a direct question. We need a direct answer. He says, Melody, are we smashing tonight or no? We need an answer. We're going to leave that there until we get an answer. No. Don't give me no laugh face. Ha ha. No. We want an answer. Yay or nay? Yay or nay? You will answer this man. He asked you a question. All right, let me share something real quick. Okay, she said no. Okay, that's fair. She gave an answer. Where is it at? Where is it? I just saw it. Okay, she said no. Okay, we got it. That's cool. No big deal. I'm about to let her sidestep. Man, put it on the wood. God damn it. You got to answer. All right. Real briefly before I get into the main topic, I do want to do a follow-up on something that someone sent me an email about yesterday. I didn't even respond to the email, but he told me it was okay if I put this email or this information out here because he wanted to do a show, more of a less a follow-up show, but I didn't want to do the same show 2 days in a row, and the whole black pill incel talk is, I enjoy talking about it. I like that people are coming out, and I do enjoy people giving a broad analysis of the whole dating and mating game. But if an individual looks in the mirror or just talks about himself and says, "This is where I'm at. These are my problems. This is what I'm doing. And this is what I'm struggling with," and makes it personal, that's a good conversation too, because then we actually got something we can work with. Sort of like how The Darkest Night made it personal, and a lot of people sought out his email. A lot of people, I believe he's Hopefully he responded. A lot of people dropped their email in the comment section so he can talk to them because he was going through some things, and we brothers, iron sharpen iron. We reach out, we help one another. But this guy, oh, I hope you don't mind it. Well, he said he don't mind me sharing this, so hopefully, so I'm assuming he don't mind his name being right there. But he says, I've seen the vast majority of your videos, and I'm also a subscriber of yours as well. I watch your segment. Is it really over from some guys? I was wanting to weigh in during the discussion, but I was busy at the time. You mentioned a viewer known as The Darkest Night and how you were wanting to contact him to do a show. Due to his state of mind, in all honesty, I believe you'd be doing a majority of men a great service by conducting a conversation between those deemed as an incel and those who have had success with women who normally appear on your panel. Personally, myself, I haven't had the best of luck with women. I'm a 29-year-old black male, and I've never had a significant other, never been in an official romantic date. I'm a virgin. Because of this, I consider my dating life non-existent, and based off the conversation you had with The Darkest Night, I've observed a lot of similarities in his point of view with my own in certain areas. However, I'm attempting to persevere. I'm making changes and pursuing my hobbies to better myself even on my worst days. That's excellent. I'm glad to hear that. If and when you decide to schedule a show with The Darkest Night, I would very much like to contribute to the discussion along with yourself and the other men on your platform and speak some of my own hardships with women. By all means, I'm not trying to tell you how to run your business. You have to put that in there, bruh. You're reaching out. You're reaching out. I love this. It's not that. It's not that at all. But I do feel this is very significant to elaborate on. And I'm willing to put myself out there in order for that to happen. Men aren't speaking on this issue enough, and a lot of us feel it's time we all sit down at a round table and just talk. Anyways, just thought I'd reach out to you and let you know you're doing a good job on your approach with these topics. With these topics you're selecting. Feel free to show the email to others if you'd like. I won't hold it against you anyway. Have a good day. Take care. All right. I'm going to take him up on that. I don't know if I'll be able to get something going on with Dark Knight, but you are definitely nominated to be the guy when I do get this topic going again. When I get this topic going again, you're definitely numero uno, number one on the list that I will be talking to, that I will be reaching out to. And yeah, definitely. I got some ideas of how we're going to go about it, and I got some people that I'm reaching out to. I kind of alluded to it on the previous show, but we're going to do something to make that happen. I appreciate you reaching out to me like you did. I definitely appreciate that. So we will be exploring that. I did want to read that on the air. Thought it was impactful. You talked about your failures and shortcomings, but you talk about changes that you're making in your life, and I like that. And I like that. I like that. So we're gonna explore that a little more. I just wanted to tease the edges of the plate with that one, but I didn't want to just hop right into it immediately. I didn't want to hop right into that because we kind of just did the same show yesterday. So we're gonna come back to that, and I'm gonna make sure it's set up even better. But thank you for that email. I will be formally responding to that directly to you with ideas and possibly time and place to make something happen. So, all right. to the topic. We 30 minutes in, and I haven't touched on the main topic here. And I need something to drink. I need some water. Water. You know, we got to start pronouncing the T in water, black people. It ain't water. But white people do it too. Yeah, that's true. White people say water. How many of y'all saw the Umbrella Academy? Okay, now that's funny. Man, you ain't shit. I told you to take that down. You just got more satirical. Mode one. Oh my goodness, man. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. That one, I mean, that's satirical enough to where I can't argue that you need to take it down. That one from yesterday was not cool at all. That one, I guess, is funny enough to where you can just you can leave it. That's funny, man. He said, let's start a pool and get him a hooker. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. I can't stop laughing at that, man. I can't stop laughing at it. I didn't know that that many virgins walked among us. I did not know. I did not know, especially not that later in life. I did not know that. So I find that interesting. I find that fascinating. I find that fascinating, and we will. Did I mention Umbrella Academy? I don't think I put Umbrella Academy in the title, or did I? Because if I didn't, and you just mentioned Umbrella Academy, yeah, see, I didn't put Umbrella Academy in the title, but she just mentioned Umbrella Academy, and that's what I'm about to talk about, but not from that angle that there are no black men in the Umbrella Academy, because that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. How many of you saw Umbrella Academy? TV show on Netflix. How many of you saw it? See, okay, I must have said it, and then yeah, okay, I must have said it and then got distracted by the mode one thing. I didn't know I said it yet. Yeah, I'm going to see now. I'm going to see now. Bear with me. Bear with me now. Don't be. Yeah, got memory like Dory from Finding Nemo. I'm just in here talking and then somebody come bump the table. I got to start all the way over. I'm like, fucking. Have y'all seen the movie Memento? Yeah, that's me. Man, I was like that for like a whole year, sitting there consistently paying for Netflix and wasn't using it. But okay, getting into it. I mean, how many? Push one if you saw Umbrella Academy season two. Memento was a good movie. That was Christopher Nolan, the guy that made Inception and Interstellar, Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. He made Memento back when he was working with a really cheap budget. but he somehow made a really great psychological thriller that made you think. Like he had to really use his brain on that one because that was back before he was some big budget director. So yeah, that movie was very impressive. But Melody, thank you for another super sticker. And A's and Sama, he says, Bernard Rally, I think it's a good thing to get these guys to talk to them, not to clown. Yes, yes, that's one thing I do want to get away from, the shaming and the clowning, but still a straightforward, honest conversation. That's excuse me. That's important here. That's important here. But yeah, I mean, if it's a thing, and they are black men, and we are black men here, then yeah, then we should talk to them. We should chop it up with them, and we should try to make some sense of it. And if it's some help that they need, then yeah, then definitely getting them the help. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But because the guy who said was thinking, yeah, but yeah, okay, yeah, but because of the guy who they said was thinking about suicide, that's something we need to prevent. Absolutely, absolutely. I just saw Ty City come through with a super chat. Says peace, bro. What's up? Salute to Ty City. All right, trying to stumble into the main topic here. Trying to stumble my way into this main topic. All right, Umbrella Academy. I don't know. Did I say? Come on, push one. Okay, I know. I know some people saw it. All right, it's on Netflix. Everybody got Netflix, damn near. Push one if you saw it. Got to be somebody in here that saw it. If not, fuck it. I'll just explain what happened. There was a time travel element in season two. I'm not going to give away all of season two, but there were definitely, um, yeah, kind of a mutant show. But we're finding out as it's getting further in that they might not be mutants. They might be something else. However, there's a time travel element to it. At the end of season one, they went back to the 60s in a way to escape the end of the world. They went back to the 60s, on a freak accident. They were trying to go somewhere else. They ended up stuck in the 60s, kind of trapped in time. And wherever they go, the end of the world kind of follows them. That's just the basic setup plot that you find out in the first, 10 minutes of season two. What I'm about to talk about is stuff that isn't directly central to the plot, to the overall general plot. Just one of the characters, the black female character in season two. Well, you absolutely suck because Umbrella Academy is a good ass show. Even though season two let me down on one aspect, but season two is definitely. I mean, the overall concept of the show is pretty damn good. Overall concept of the show. Most of us are dorks here. We like Marvel. We like the Avengers. We like the X-Men. The basic plot of the show, because it seems like people haven't seen it. Just out of the blue, on the same day in 1989, use my little storytelling voice. I think in such the same day, let's just say November 22nd in 1989, 42 women who were not pregnant all of a sudden just instantly, boom, became pregnant, like 9 months pregnant and about to give birth. But when that day started, they were not pregnant. They were just regular women and then just, boom, were just infused with a fucking baby somehow and gave birth to it. Some rich billionaire guy went and paid money to try to collect as many of those babies as he came. He adopted them and he was able to get 7 of them. He raised them and they turned out, as he suspected, to have some kind of superpowers. They all had different powers. One of them had the ability to teleport and also kind of time travel. And through some whole bunch of shit that happened, they ended up stuck in the 60s. Now, to get to the part where I want to talk about the depiction of black men, is that the black female character, because there was no black male character in the Umbrella Academy, no big deal there, of the 7 that had the powers. And the black female character, she ended up, when they went to the 60s, they were separated and they went at like different years in the 60s. So she was by herself for a while. So this black woman who was from modern times, from the 2000s, you know, she built a life for herself in the 60s, which means she, ended up marrying a black man. This is at the heart of, the civil rights movement getting going. It's like 1963 and all of that. And so she started ultimately, participating in the civil rights movement. And she made a point not to use her powers, because she just was like, "This is a new life, a new world. I'm not going to use my power." She had the power to say stuff to people and manipulate them, but she opted not to do it. So, the reason I'm bringing this up and talking about the depiction of black men in this is because for no reason, absolutely positively no reason, in this show, I'm going to play a clip. Now, this is a tricky part because it's really hard to play a clip of this because Netflix don't play. You really can't play a clip of Netflix. You can't. They're going to black out the screen. You'll be able to hear it, and that's it. But, in the 60s, there's, of course, going to be some racism. So in that aspect of the subplot of that particular character, they were dealing with racism in the 60s. Now, this is a completely 100% fictional story. Okay, I'm glad Leo Anthony saw it. I'm glad Leo Anthony saw it. It was a completely 100% fictional story that they could have depicted any way that they wanted to. Any way that they wanted to. But they depicted it in a way to where the black women were strong and persevering, and the black men were kind of, timid and cowardly. And they did that a bunch of times. There's a bunch of different parts of it where they did that. One clip that I'm going to play, and y'all hate that y'all not going to be able to see it, but y'all got to listen to it and listen to this conversation. Basically what happened is the black guy who the chick married, who was her husband, who was trying to be, the leader or organizer. Not really Great Britain. Not really Great Britain. But it tripped me out because this is the damn fictional Marvel type of movie. This, it subtly had a subplot that dealt with some black people in the 60s, but that was probably like 5% of the whole show. But the depiction of black men was just terrible. Where they could have depicted it any way, But they had the black women strong and aggressive and talking to the black men like shit and standing up to white people and to white men. But they had the black men all, I don't want no trouble. They was doing that shit. And I was getting pissed off watching it, and it's crazy because it's like that shit get put in our face and we don't see it, I shouldn't out my lady friend like this, but she didn't see it. I had to rewind it and play I had to play the scene back to her for her to notice the problem here. Man, y'all all wrong. It was her husband, a jawline nigga. I think his jaw was normal. I think he had a normal jaw. Show the world what it is really. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. Give me a second. I'm trying to get something ready. All right, so what happened here is the character in the show, her husband, ended up getting locked up. ended up getting locked up, but they had some sit-in thing or something that they was planning on doing, and they was trying to go forward. But her husband, he was actually their leader, even though the chick kind of ran it, but the husband was the leader. But when he got locked up, basically they're sitting inside a hair salon that's owned by one of the black women, and they were talking about their next course of action. And you know, the men were, wanting to back out and not do it because their leader wasn't there, but the women were saying, no, let's go forward. But just listen how they talked to the men. Now, the women were strong and let's persevere regardless. And the women were like, strong, let's persevere regardless. And the men were like, no, I don't know, I don't think we should do it.
All right, Muriel, see you next week. How's Ray holding up?
Ray's Ray?
When's he getting out?
I'm working on that.
We need to postpone the sit-in.
No way.
Excuse me?
Kennedy arrives in 5 days. We have to take advantage. We can't wait.
I don't know. Something doesn't feel right with you.
God damn it. Okay, I appreciate whoever sent that Cash App, but you interrupted what was already some bad audio. Let me see who sent this damn Cash App. Damn it, I might have to reconvene on this show because the audio is not. Could y'all even hear that? Let's see who sent this Cash App real quick. Let's see who sent this Cash. I might have to reconvene on this because I'm not getting good audio. Okay, cool. If y'all can hear it, then I'm not gonna force it. But it says 757 prime time, or then it says payment from Strongman 757. I don't know your YouTube name, which name you use on YouTube, but either way, thank you for the super chat. It was a Cash App. It was kind of a sizable Cash App. I appreciate that. From Prime Time. Shout yourself out in the chat. God damn it. That's what I get for not being all the way compared. So I'm going to have to get Netflix. I got Netflix. I'll have to put it on my damn computer and then play it from there. Because I'm not getting enough audio unless I go grab my goddamn Bluetooth speaker. Which I think I'm going to do. So just hold on for approximately 30 seconds. Y'all heard that? Man, and y'all still sitting here after 30 seconds of dead air? Y'all must love me or something. Y'all must actually give a good goddamn about me. Yeah, the Bluetooth speaker working. It's loud than a motherfucker. It is loud than a motherfucker. All right. And we're back. But like I was saying, this is a goddamn fictional story that they could have depicted in any type of way. It was an insignificant. not exactly an insignificant subplot, but a subplot nonetheless. It was only like 5% of the total show. How complex he was counting. Did I make it? Did I make it? Fair use, by the way, but I don't think this would be a problem because it's just audio.
Kennedy arrives in 5 days. I'm working.
Yeah, I can hear now. So like I was saying, they had a salon. They plotting the next move for the sit-in. And you have to use your imagination because I don't got the... You can't put up videos of Netflix at all. Because when you put up videos of Netflix, they basically got some damn good coding. If you play something from Netflix, the screen is automatically blacked out. But either way, fair use, nigga. Fair use. But just listen how in this fictional story that they could have depicted any kind of way, they depicted it in a way to where the men were weak and the women were, strong, aggressive, and talking to them like shit in some cases.
How's Ray holding up?
Ray's Ray?
When's he getting out?
I'm working on that.
We need to postpone the sit-in.
No way.
Excuse me?
Kennedy arrives in 5 days. We have to take advantage. We can't wait.
I don't know. Something doesn't feel right without Ray.
Ray would want us to move forward.
Did he say that to you? Those exact words?
He didn't have to. Because this movement is bigger than all of us, even Ray.
I'm calling it. We postpone. We postpone.
Why don't we vote on it?
We're not voting on it.
Why the hell not?
Because that's not how this works.
You trying to tell me how this works? In my own damn beauty parlor, what? You about to start coiffing hair too?
No, ma'am.
I didn't think so.
Look, we've been organizing this sit-in for months. When Kennedy gets here, so do the cameras. Now is the time to show the world what it is really like for us down here. And to show the police that we will not be bullied into submission. We will continue to fight for equality, even in the face of persecution. With or without Ray. Because we're ready. All in favor?
Now, when they took the vote on whether or not they were going to go through with the sit-ins, the protest demonstrations, and all of that shit, the men, when somebody want to vote yes, but they don't really want to vote yes, so they like put their hand like halfway up. The men, they either had their hands down or they had it like halfway up, like barely above the shoulder. But all the women were just strong hand all the way up in the air, like, yeah, let's go. It was it just blows me away that we're talking about what amounts to a science fiction movie with time travel and people born with special powers, but they smuggling in some black men weak and black women strong shit. A girl power message. And you're about to see even more of it. Hold on.
There it is. Behind every man.
And did y'all hear that? How the chick, she had walked up to the one chick that gave the little speech and like patted her on the shoulder and said, behind every man, the statement, behind every man, every strong man, or every whatever, something like behind every man there's a strong woman or something like that behind him. She walked up to him and said that. Now that was the woman that said that was the woman that was a outright bitch that was talking down at the dude, saying, you gonna tell me what to do? Or something like, in my own shop, what, you gonna start doing hair now? Or some shit, That was the same chick that got up and told the other woman that was more polite and gave a good speech and was like, she went up to her and was like, behind every man. So clearly, the woman that was a bitch talking down to men like that was depicted as the good guy. She was one of the good guys, basically. And that was a key thing because, something happens in movies, and I noticed this as, a de facto somewhat movie buff, that sometimes in movies there are things that the characters say, and if you follow the movie and you understand what's going on, okay, that was a line consistent with what that character would say. And then sometimes you hear some lines in some movies where you could tell that the writer or director is damn near talking directly to you, that their own little personal philosophy or ideology or whatever it is they wanted to get out, that's what they're getting out, that's what they're going for, that's what they're setting up. That was a situation, when she did that whole, behind every man. That was the writer or director basically doing a look at the camera, talk directly to the audience moment, right there. And it's weird. Like I said, a movie that's about fucking superpowers and, fancy fucking special babies born with superpowers, and a rich billionaire man, adopted them to train them to save the world or some shit. And in the midst of a show with a concept like that, we get this shit. And it's not a black show. They could have went any way that they wanted to go with that, but they chose to go that way. It was another scene, and I'm not going to play it because I'm disappointed. Well, even though that audio sound good, but I'm disappointed that I can't play the clips. And I found that out kind of this morning. So, because Netflix is on some bullshit. Actually, some amazing shit that they know how to make it to where they can black out the screen when you try to play anything off Netflix. But anyway, there's another scene where the woman who had the powers that she wasn't using, the story behind why she wasn't using her powers, because she had powers that basically she can whisper anything to anybody and then they'll basically do it. So her whole life was fake, She was like in 2015 or wherever they was from. She was a famous movie star married to some Superman jawline dude who, she ended up losing her kid in the custody battle because he caught her using the tactic on her daughter, on a 4-year-old daughter, to get her to go to sleep when she was up all night crying and making noise. So, she had a moment where she said, I'm not going to use my powers no more. And she ended up back in the 60s and she said, okay, good. I got a whole new life. I'm not a famous celebrity based off my powers. I'm going to be a regular person. So that's why she wasn't using her powers. But she was being harassed by some white men, and she had ran into that same beauty salon and with nothing but black women in there. And the black women, they grabbed their fucking the hot combs and scissors or whatever and stood their ground against some white men and made the white men turn around and leave. But every time that white men showed up on, black men, the black men, I don't want no problem. It was just like, damn. Like in this show that I really liked, I was like pissed off. Like they really gonna depict it like that. I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe that they was doing that shit. Could not believe it. All right, I'm through. But I've been noticing a lot of shit. Like that. I'm dropping the link in the chat. I got something to do at 12 o'clock, which means I'm going to be getting out of here relatively soon. So if you got something you want to say, come your black ass up right now. And speaking of depictions, dang, Christopher in the building. What's going on? Aha, Bernard. Keith said, I mentioned Black Lightning before. Short-haired wife bossing around her superhero husband. I gotta rewatch that. I do gotta rewatch that. So that's interesting. Black Lightning, black superhero, getting bossed around. I do gotta check that one out. I watched a few episodes of that. I don't know why I couldn't get into it. I mean, it's right up my alley. That's the type of shit that I like, but I don't know why I couldn't get into that. So I made it a few episodes in and then kind of, tapped out a little bit. But I'm gonna have to get back into that one. I've been noticing so much shit though. Like it's just weird. So I'm gonna be doing series on this when I got actual video. When I can actually play the video and show you the full clips and show you the full everything. So this was just a little teaser trailer of of what's to come. I'm going to be doing this a little more, just showing the depiction, the subtle and unsubtle. I will show the depictions, and also that damn one interesting thing that I was kind of investigating. I didn't know what the fuck WAP or WAP was. That Cardi B and Meg the I think Tommy Sotomayor calls her Meg the male horse with a dick. Because that's literally what a stallion is. So that Cardi B and Meg the male horse with a dick video. Yeah, I finally figured out what WAP was, so I watched that video. And I was sort of juxtaposing that with the fucking because Beyonce just dropped something that a lot of people have been talking about, that Black is King shit. And the depictions in that were actually, it was some beautiful imagery, a lot of African tradition and all kind of shit in there that was, you could tell that all the scenes and settings and everything they did a lot of research and they tried to depict blackness in a very uplifting light. Even though I think if I watch it to the end, it's going to be some girl power feminist shit in it. But I didn't see none of that in the first 30 minutes that I did watch for research purposes. I was trying to see if it was going to go left, but it didn't go left and I fell asleep. But yeah, I was looking at that, how those two things is going on where one, the positive image of blackness was put out there by Beyonce, who have made some, not no shit as bad as, WAP or WAP. But you could kind of see what she was doing. And then versus when you look at the Cardi B Meg Thee Stallion thing, and you look at which one is being the most gravitated to. Just an interesting thing that I may do a little more. Okay, what the fuck? Zero, is that you?
Yeah.
I don't see why you have a problem with these depictions.
Okay, hold on.
That's the romper.
Yes, it's a male romper.
Wait, but no, who is this?
It's a fashion statement.
I want to know who's the individual's voice that I'm hearing.
Romperius Jackson. I'm here to talk about this show. I don't know why you have a problem with the way these black women are being portrayed. It's entirely accurate. I mean, what men need to do is understand the strength of black women, and that's all they're trying to convey.
All right, Romperius Jackson. All right, we're gonna go to Complex.
Hey, look in the chat. Look in the chat. Hey, go. Hey, I gotta run inside for a second. Go ahead and go to somebody else. I'll come back.
All right. My audio something sound funny to me. I don't know what's going on. I guess I'll fix it later. Y'all can let me know if something sounds weird or out of place with my audio. But Romperius Jackson, did you see Umbrella Academy by any chance?
I mean, I watched some of it, but I watched enough of it to where that I understood that, if black men are being portrayed the way that they are, it just makes a lot of sense. You have to get behind your women in order to uplift them.
I see. I see. Excellent. New in the building with the super chat says, "Long live Romperius." Oh my goodness. Blackfield J, what's going on?
How you doing? I had to. Oh wait, I think I'm echoing somewhere. Anyways, I think that there's definitely something with the depiction of black men on TV. I think it's a big reason why I don't watch a lot of TV, because we're not really. I'm not sure what's going on in the writers' rooms. I mean, I'm in the entertainment business or trying to break in, and besides really Tyler Perry, there's not really any that I know of. Well, I guess besides what's the guy, King and Barris, but it seems as though there is an agenda to either emasculate us or to sort of make us appear weak. I know, for example, the show Watchmen, for example. Have you seen that show, Bernard?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I tapped out after episode 2.
Yeah. Even in that show, it depicted the Oklahoma riots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching it and watching it was a black man and a black woman in the Oklahoma riots, and they were carrying their son. And I remember the black man was carrying the son and the woman was carrying the rifle and protecting the father with the son. And it was something like that where I'm like, well, wait a minute, that back in I think it was like when did that happen? Like the 40s or 50s? I think the 40s.
I think even before the 40s.
Yeah, okay.
20s
Well, I was
30s,
like,
but yeah.
Yeah, I was like, well, wait a minute, like what type of shit is this? So, and even how they depicted Yaheen, Regina King's husband, and how he was like a stay-at-home husband, and it's just like, and even later on, when spoiler alert, Regina King's grandfather, who you learn was the first superhero, was actually a homosexual. It's just there are just certain things that they're trying to push with when it comes to black men. Look at the infamous episode of Black Mirror with the guy who played the Falcon.
Yeah.
And Anthony Mackie, and that other guy, the same guy from Watchmen, and how and here's the thing, it's like I have no problem with homosexual black men in TV, but when you look at who wrote the episode, it was a white
chicks, or it's always a white dude or chicks.
It was a white dude, yeah. So it's like, you know what? So if you're gonna push that, why not have us do it? Like, you know what I'm saying? So and there's this weird fascination in Hollywood of the emasculation of black men, especially lately. And I know this is about TV, Bernard, but even in the movie Black Panther, I like the movie Black Panther, but even that film has a lot of there's some feminist undertones to that film. There's some emasculation in that movie as well. Just the fact of T'Challa being, it's his damn movie, yet his sister is smarter than him. There's no type of romance between him and Lupita's character. He gets his ass kicked like 3 times. He's totally emasculated. I want to say emasculated.
Yeah, I wouldn't say emasculated. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But given you're the goddamn Black Panther.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if you look at that movie from beginning to end, that's really more of a female movie.
It is
a male movie.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, scene to scene. If you count up the scenes, you will see that's mostly a female movie.
You guys sound angry. I mean, I think it shows the softer side of black men. It just shows a softer side of us. I mean, for years, black men have been portrayed as like the angry black guy. I mean, they show us in baggy jeans and carrying guns and things like that. These shows are just trying to show a different side to black men. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Romperius, is that zebra or white leopard skin?
Definitely zebra.
Very snazzy.
Thanks.
No, for real. One thing I also want to say is that because here's the thing, I have sort of my ear on the pulse when it comes to entertainment, pretty much like what I'm doing. But there is a push for black women, especially black women and gay LGBT black men, for them to be represented on TV. And I think that just like with the what was it what's the thing about the jobs where women got over men with jobs, affirmative action, kind of like affirmative action. Black men are being left behind when it comes to TV, and we rarely ever get any good representation. I would say the only show right now besides Power that is a kind of a okay representation of Black men on TV that I know of is probably Atlanta. I can't really think of another show unless it involves drugs that depicts strong Black men.
There's drugs in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken.
right, yeah. So even that show, but there's not really, like, we don't have many shows that depict us in a strong in a way where, and even when we do have a show, especially if it's a comedy, look at Blackish, for example. I mean, I'm not a fan of Blackish at all, but even in that show, we always got to have our mother around. It's always like this weird thing with Black men and their mamas that they never do with white characters.
The only realistic depiction that you'll get of brothers, like, in any sort of media, right, is like literally like on like an Instagram, a YouTube, a Facebook, something like that, where somebody has like a channel where they actually create something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm a part of, like, I have so many channels I'm subscribed to, brothers who like fucking they build, they're like electricians, right? So they wire up shit, teach electronics, dudes who build cars, brothers who build cars, brothers, dudes like Rich Rebuilds, the guy who was tearing down Teslas and shit. Those are the guys who actually represent what we really are. You're not going to see it coming from the pen or the hand of somebody that don't look like you. And that's just the reality of it. So anytime we're looking at images that are projected of us in the media, it's typically it's conjured up in the mind of somebody who ain't you.
I typically disagree with that, because if you show a Black man living with his mom and all of the females in his family, it just shows that he's a family-oriented person. Like, for instance, I lived with my mom until I was 31 years old. And then I moved out into an apartment close to her so that I could just be near her. And I come to her for all of my advice. All of my relationships have been fostered through my mother, and they were great relationships with wonderful women.
Hey, Rob Perius, where's your dad?
I don't really know my dad personally.
Oh, okay.
I didn't grow up with him in the house, but I do know of him.
Oh, okay.
Through my mom.
Gotcha.
But in fairness to it, though, like, there are Black movie directors. I mean, obviously, we named Spike Lee. Actually, it's a movie on Netflix called The Five Bloods. I talked about that on here. That's actually like a real good movie about 4 Black men who fought in, what war was that? Was that World War II? Vietnam. Okay, yeah, they fought in Vietnam. They were going back because they hid some gold or something out there, and they wanted to retrieve the body of one of their fallen comrades. But that was a real good movie. So there are Black men who are directing. There's a lot of Black movie directors. Thing is, a lot of them do have a lot of them are liberals, so they do have.
I was gonna say they have a certain agenda at the same time, because look, even though Spike Lee made that movie, look what he also did on Netflix. He did She's Gotta Have It, which was an extremely feminist, pro Black feminist TV show, and it was a lot different than the movie, because if you watch the movie, have you seen the show, Bernard?
I've seen season 1.
Yeah, the season 2, I thought season 1 was terrible, but compared to the movie, especially, I mean, the movie came out in like the mid 80s, and that, to me, besides like one or two scenes, was actually one of my favorite Spike Lee films. And
now, how much creative control did Spike have over the series?
I would assume he had quite a bit since he created
because he may have licensed, the.
Well, no, he directed. No, it was. Hold on. If you watch it, it's no question. Spike. It was Spike Lee all day.
No, it was, but
Spike co-signed this.
No, he directed the. He directed.
I was gonna say he co-signed this new iteration of it. I heard the criticisms about it because it was so different from the movie. Right. But he co-signed it.
Yeah, but the problem with the show was the main problem with the show was Nola herself. In the film, the original film, the reason why the film worked was because Nola Darling was very feminine. She was sexy. She was I'm echoing somewhere.
I think that's Black Uru. Mute up if I think you got some background noise.
Yeah. But Nola Darling, the original Nola Darling was just like she was a girl who you can like, okay, like she was not wifey necessarily because she was sort of a thought, but she was very feminine. She was very not necessarily submissive, but she was a cool chick. But the new Nola Darling in the Netflix version was, for lack of a better word, a bitch. You know, so
I didn't
like,
really get that she was a bitch. I mean, I thought that she was. I mean, I
compared to the other one.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember. I saw the other one when I was too young to even be watching it, and haven't went back and watched it as an adult, so I really don't know. But no, she just seemed like just a normal chick. I mean, she was sexy, and
she was
like
sexy.
You said, she was.
You gotta watch. Watch the because the old one is actually a really good movie. So I would say compared to the old one, the new Nola Darling was very much like a pro feminist. She was very kind of, at least to me.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely very pro feminist. Yeah. Definitely. I give it that all day.
Like, they basically created a character where it's like, well, the cool thing about the first Nola was that she was a woman that you can see a bunch of black men wanting to share and wanting to holler at, whereas this one just didn't really seem like all that much of a pleasurable individual. So, but that's just me. That's just
yeah. No, again, I disagree with that. I think she was I don't know. I don't think she was. They made her out to just be some horrible person. She was, She was all right. I didn't have no problem with that on the male end of it, but it was just Spike Lee making a pro womanist movie, and it's whatever on that. But that's sort of to my point that a lot of the black male directors they are liberals, so you don't really see it. You don't really see it play out how we would like to see it play out. One good one that did is The Banker. That was a good one. I liked how that one played out, how that one was depicted.
Yeah, I would say if we're talking about films, something that kind of slipped by the radar, I'm not sure because it did pretty well at the box office, was The Equalizer 2. The Equalizer 2, it has a really good scene with it's with Denzel Washington. There's a really good scene where he goes to this trap house to get this kid. Right, to get this kid who he kind of sort of had he mentored it for a little bit because his kid is running with some bad dudes, and he has a scene where he takes a gun, he points it to the kid's face. It's the same kid who was in Moonlight. I forget the actor's name, and he's ranting. It's probably one of the best scenes in the film. And he kind of went into like Denzel mode and was basically saying, "Hey, you're gonna blame the white man?" Like it was like, wow, like they kind of slipped in. Because that's not a liberal talking point. What you have to watch the scene to really know what I'm talking about. But every once in a while, you will see strong black male images. They're just very, very few and far between.
Well, I mean, okay, I do want to make sure that we're not just getting off into where, we're trying to find a problem with everything. Shit ain't supposed to be perfect. I mean, yeah, with white guys, they got depicted as, they get depicted as Superman, but they also get depicted as the 40-year-old version, the dorky white guy that can't fuck. They get depicted as that too. So there are going to be a variety of depictions. So what I like to call it out when it's just blatant. So that's why I looked at the Umbrella Academy, where a movie that wasn't even about racism, wasn't even about any type of strong womanism, I am woman, hear me roar shit. It was a fucking science fiction movie about babies that was born with special powers and was raised by a rich billionaire. That's right out of comic book, lore. That's and a small part of it, they did go back to the 60s because they got caught in some time travel loop where they were stuck in the 60s. And it was just weird that the little small, out of the 6 or 7 main characters, one of the characters who happened to be black, who's now stuck in the 60s, and so racism became part of her subplot, and how they just literally chose to make the women strong and down to fight, and the men, back down and standoffish. And that, I notice it when it's just blatant, like that, So that's where I'm at with it. I don't want to get to the point where we just trying to call out everything. I mean, there have been black superheroes. Will
Well,
Smith playing strong roles all the time, but yeah, that's like I said, that's just Will Smith. I mean, we do get it. It does happen,
Yeah, it does
but
happen.
it's
well,
the
well,
it's
but, well,
the it's the blatant shitting on it when
Bernard,
it.
there's another sort of overarching theme. So you guys, I don't know. You give me your take on this. So at a time when it would be most advantageous for a black person to use their superpower, they opt not to. And that what that strikes to me is this overarching theme that ultimately black folks are weak. Okay, we ultimately choose and like what it is that we subject ourselves to. Some are so to the point that even though if you had something that would put you at an advantage, you would yield. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that part was interesting. Even though they did a good job explaining why she opted not to use it, but she did use it. Like her husband was getting, when they was doing a protest or something, her husband was getting beat up by a police officer, and then she did walk up to him and whisper something in the police officer's ear, and he turned around and walked off. It was a couple times when she used it, but it was to like quick get out of situations. But her goal was to not use it. But yeah, I was sitting there watching like, wait a minute, you can change the course of history real fast.
Well, the goal, that's the
Just
goal.
because she used, because in 2015 she used her powers to basically, you could walk up to an important person and say something in their ear. Basically, she and the person going to do whatever you say no matter what. That's how she became a famous movie star, actress, and all of that stuff. She used it to her benefit then, but got in the 60s when it really could have got used, but
Right,
didn't
and
use it.
then what we did was we submitted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's more or less what. Yeah.
yeah, we submitted. Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. I mean, well, they were still fighting the same, 1960s fight, but she had an ultimate weapon. It sort of reminded me of Black Panther when Killmonger was like, "Y'all got all this vibranium and technology and all this shit, and y'all mean to tell me?" And keep in mind, they've had it all through fucking slavery and all the oppression that's happened with black people. They had it back then too. It's not like they just got it. They had it back then too, but they hadn't been using it to try to help liberate your people. Like, yeah, that was a major problem with Black Panther. That fortunately Killmonger, the villain, pointed that out. That was but that's a whole other thing. D Rock Den says, Romperius Jackson, do you support black masculinity in our young boys?
Well, yes. Masculinity should be promoted and focused, and only women can focus male masculinity into something positive. I mean, when women ask, "What have you built?" they're not asking and talking about things like buildings and structures, which are typically shaped like penises, by the way. They're talking about building emotional stability. And this is a means to connect with each other in a way that promotes the man and the woman at the same time as equals. And this is how a healthy society functions.
That's an interesting point from Perius. I want to go back to something you said earlier, Bernard, when you were talking about the Beyonce film, I guess, the Black is King. There is a scene. I watched most of that, I guess.
I'm like 30 minutes in, so I think some fuckery probably did happen, but go ahead.
First of all, there's an overall kind of Beyonce is queen kind of thing going on there that is a little disdainful to me. But there is a scene where there's a young black man who overtly says that although he learned a few things from black men, most of what he has learned has been from black women.
Yep, that was the line that I heard in the advertisement that prompted me to watch the whole thing, and I didn't make it through the whole thing. I was watching it last night, and had it been more of that, I didn't make it to that part in the actual film.
I didn't understand the point of that though. When I was watching it, it seemed kind of, I don't know, random, or I didn't get the purpose of his making that statement within the context.
Yeah, today's show was going to be about how the major depictions of black women You got the WAP stuff, either just the overt sexual object shit that they putting out there, that black women are putting out there, or you got the that type of shit that you just described right there. That I am woman, I am queen, and strong, independent. That type of shit. Either they're whores or they're fucking women with dicks, one or the other. But it was so yeah. That's what the show was going to be about today. I was going to do a comparison, compare and contrast, looking at the differences in the message that WAP is putting out versus the message that Black is King was putting out. But I watched the first 30 minutes of Black is King and fell asleep. But everything I saw was good. They didn't get into no feminist, pro-womanist bullshit. So I let it go. I'm gonna table it. I'm gonna go finish watching it eventually, and then might do something on it if it leads to that. Johnny Blaze in the building. He said old shows like Magnum PI, Stargate, The Parenthood, Star Trek, TNG, and DS9 showcase black male characters. They are gone now. I think there are black male characters. Like, I mean, some people talking about Hancock. It's been black male characters that's been out there. So
Yeah,
I'm not that guy saying, "Oh, we don't got enough." I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if it was more, but I mean, we do see black male characters.
Yeah, I was,
and a lot of it is neutral. Put it like that. A lot of it is bare minimum neutral, but it's just the overt shit that just jumps out at me. I do want to go to Pablo real quick. What's up, Pablo? What you got, man?
What's going on, Bernard?
What's up?
On behalf of my fellow Negroes in the chat, we would humbly request a full show with Romparius. we would like for you to interview Romparius on the necessity of black women in the black manosphere and in black male spaces. We would like for you to do that interview. We are hungry for it, and Romparius seems to be a fan favorite right now.
Romparius, would you be down to do that?
Oh, definitely. I think women do belong here. I think women have very important things and a message to give to all people, especially black men, because our image has been tarnished, over time due to, people like Pookie and Ray Ray. And we just need to clean it up and get our community back on track. And the only way to do that is actually through our black women.
Really? So you think that black women should be here in this space? But what about like Sister George from the Breakdown of Feminist Perspective? Their show is basically just an ongoing running gag of excuses. It's basically 101 ways for 101 reasons why black women should continue to treat black men like shit. That's pretty much the premise of their show. You don't have a problem with that?
I disagree. I think their show is very effective at getting men to basically understand that black women are necessary. I mean, from the episodes I've seen men ask them, to be nicer, and they complied.
Again, the greatness and the genius that is Romparius. We yield the rest of our time. I'm gonna fall back.
All right, man. Black Uru, man. Go ahead and save us, man. You got anything else to
add? Do you all remember the Invasion of the Body Snatcher franchise? Essentially, there's there've been like 4 or 5, maybe even 5 different versions of that story that has been told in the cinema. And I often think as a black man, I often feel as though when we're dealing with black women, we're kind of trapped in sort of an invasion of the body snatcher scenario. Because I'm often wondering, like, who the hell are these people really? What? There was a scene in one version of the movie where the guy's lying in bed and his wife is actually being replaced in bed right next to him by one of these pod people or pod copies. And when I look at all the like the media depictions and all the, you know, this WAP thing and, you know, all this kind of very misandrous kind of emasculation, effeminization of black men and black women are often at the lead in sort of presenting those kinds of things. Honestly, I often feel as though our real women have been replaced by something else.
Damn, you saying they've been body snatched?
I just often wonder, like, who the fuck are these people? I mean, and honestly, I often even feel that way amongst some of my own female kin.
Mm. Hey, y'all, I just realized I haven't even hit the like button. So y'all hit the like button real quick. Take the time to do it. We had 247 people watching, 123 likes. That ain't exactly terrible. Damn, 14 thumbs down. Y'all just like fuck me today. Okay, anyway. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the like button. We can get that up to 150. We can get that up to 150. I don't got the screen up. Somebody wait, hold on. Yeah, I don't got the screen up. Somebody read. I know it's a super chat that I clicked on. Somebody read that super chat from New. I appreciate it.
Ron Perez is speaking truth. All males should have should have this knowledge.
I mean, like, someone touched on it in the chat. If you all remember the 80s movie They Live, starring Roddy Piper, late great Roddy Piper, and there was an alien invasion, and all the people in power were actually these aliens who look like human beings, but you could see who they truly were by way of some form of glasses. Mm-hmm. When I was watching that WAP video, I actually kind of had a feeling as though that, man, if I put on some glasses, those women would not look like human beings. They would look like something else.
Wow.
I mean, I know that sounds like maybe an exaggeration of what's going on.
No, but I understand where you're going.
Yeah, I disagree. That video is yas.
I rest my case.
Hey, what is the video? What did you say it was?
Oh my God, it's like 100% yas. The first time I heard it and saw it, I mean, oh my God. I mean, I thought to myself, we're here. We're here. I mean, it just showed women in all of their power, all of their glory, and it showed what they can do for men. I mean, if you want the WAP.
Now, did you think it was odd, Rumperius, that there were no actual men in that video?
No. I mean, do men have WAP?
But the video was about selling sexuality, about glorifying themselves as being sexual objects. Are they glorifying themselves as being sexual objects of desired sexual objects of men or of other women?
Both. Women can do both. I mean, the video basically just showed that women can have all of the sexuality and basically that they can give that sexuality to everyone.
Okay.
It was a showcase of feminine power.
Does that explain the hermaphroditic rumors regarding Megan Thee Stallion?
No. Okay, you're looking at this wrong. So the video basically showed that women have the sexuality. Men are a complement to it, but they're not necessary to be shown in the video. It was just a showcase of feminine power is what it was.
Well, let me ask you this question, Romperius Jackson and Black Uru. You can respond to this too. Now, this is actually something that that my lady friend pointed out. Because Kylie Jenner, who I barely even understand who she is and why she's famous. She's, I guess, I don't know. I don't know who these people are. But she was like the only white chick in the video. I didn't know who the fuck she was. I watched the video just to do intel and see what the fuck is everybody talking about. And then randomly a white chick just was walking through the video. Now my lady friend pointed out to me that the black women in the video were wilding out, clowning, doing the splits, popping. It was popping in the pussy lips, just everything, ass, pussy lips, everything, twerking and clapping. It was pussy lips clapping by the black woman. The white woman in the video, yes, she was dressed scantily clad, if that's the right word. She was, like sensual, sexual. She looked more like a sex symbol and not a sex object. Was that noticed by either of you in that video? Because it didn't notice. When I saw her, I was just trying to figure out who the fuck is this white chick. That's all I was trying to figure out. So I didn't even, my radar wasn't up for that. But it was pointed out that the black women in there just showing their ass literally, and a white chick was just more like in an elegant, sexy type of way. Did y'all notice? Did y'all notice that, or got any thoughts on that? I'll go to Black Uru, then fucking Ramperius Jackson.
Yeah. Not only did I notice it, but I thought I don't know who produced or directed that video, but they were obviously featured that white girl in that video, and they actually accentuated her beauty and her sensuousness and sexuality in contrast to all the succubus lasciviousness of the non-white women in that video. I think that was very intentional, and I think Megan
intentional by who?
Whoever produced or directed that video. I think that was very intentional. And if I were a black woman, and if I were well, I don't know what's going on with Megan and what's her name, Cardi B, but I'd be pissed about that because they made her look. By comparison, they made her look rather glorious in that video.
Okay, and before I go to, real quick, because I got to see a comment that I got to respond to. Okay, Azam Sama, he says, a show with Ramperius Jackson is needed. Spread the message for the Empress of the Cuddle Sphere. Wants him to tell. Well, wonderful shot, my brother. All right. Looking at this comment here, based off what I just laid out and what you just concurred with, Sister George says, black women always have to do more to be recognized. All she had to do was show up. Wrong. Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion did not have to do all that shit. No. They didn't have to.
No.
They're famous enough. I don't think they write their lyrics, but whoever writes their lyrics is writing well enough and got them rapping and rhyming to the rhythm of the beat well enough to where it sound cool. The beat was catchy, the chorus was catchy, and their namesake and fame has them to the point to where no, they didn't have to do that. They're in control, whether you want to admit it or not. They got full creative control because they're at this point, they just
I don't
can't.
see how they could have seen the outtakes of that video, assuming they did prior to it being released, and have been happy with it because it so obviously accentuates Kylie in comparison to them. I don't know why they would be happy with and would accept that. That was a bad move in my view. Now, again, because these women, their mentalities or whatever, I'm an old guy, so maybe, maybe their view of things is totally different from what mine would be. But if you look at that whole video, the thing that stood out to me or the thing that I remembered was Kylie. She looked very sexy, very pretty, and kind of elegant by comparison.
I didn't remember her. She didn't stand out. I was looking at her trying to figure out who the fuck is a white girl. That's all. I didn't. So she didn't pop out to me
But the
like
fact
that.
that you were trying to figure out who she was meant that she stood out.
Well, yeah, she looked. It looked out of place. Now, I mean, had she been clapping her pussy lips too, then it would have looked in place. But it looked out of place because she just was.
Because she was not clapping her lips.
Okay,
Because
cool.
she was not doing the same things that they were doing. She looked like she was a somewhat sexy, somewhat elegant woman. The rest of them just look like hoes.
Okay, Sister George is saying that's the wrong context, Bernard, and she even said it again, wrong context in all caps. The context that we were talking about is the video and everything that Cardi B and Meg the male horse with a dick was everything that Meg the Stallion was doing was very over the top, overt, sexual. All right, and that's what it is, and that's what they're doing, and it is what it is.
And it was
But we just put out, and we pointed out the difference in Kylie Jenner, how she just was dressed, no doubt in a sexual way, but just more elegant and just walked in, and just she just basically walked in a straight line, dressed in a sexy gown or whatever the hell, looking like a sex symbol and not a sex object. And you said, yeah, black women always have to do more. Kylie Jenner just had to, I mean, you said she just had to show up. Kylie Jenner just had to show up. That was the context. You can't say you meant it in a different context. So what I'm saying in response to you saying that black women, have to do more, she just had to show up. In this case, black women was Cardi B and Meg the male horse. They didn't have to do more. They're famous enough to where they can do what Beyonce did. Beyonce looked like a very sexy, beautiful, strong queen with some femininity. That's what she wanted to sell with herself. That's the image she wanted to put out of herself, and that's what she put out. And the industry needs Beyonce more than Beyonce needs it. So I don't know how you could say that Cardi B and Meg the male horse don't have the opportunity to do the same thing, to put out whatever they want to put out. Now I get what they made it off of. They made it off, making grungy music and grungy videos. But don't try to say that, that they had to do it. They're in a place now where they don't have to. But anyway, I'm starting to believe that black women shout out to Consular Murray. I'm starting to believe that black women has adopted a lifestyle of the gay man. Oh shit. The way they act, lifestyle, how they date, and their sexual behaviors. They are in control of black women. They probably wrote WAP. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there is some truth in those words there.
All right.
But I want to say before I get Sister George, more about the video. There was another white-ish looking woman in that video. There's some scene where everything was in red or black or whatever, and even she, although she was dancing around, she wasn't doing the coochie popping that the sisters were doing in that video. So black women are definitely allowing themselves to be distinguished from other women as a whole, and not necessarily in positive ways these days.
It's because white women can't dance. It's the only reason.
Well, I was actually basically agreeing with the premise that other women are allowed to be put on display. They can be just as hoish, nasty, or whatever, but she was allowed to walk through the video and not do anything and kind of have an air of elegance about her. And not to necessarily say elegance, but there was an air of sophistication when she walked through. Everybody else dancing around looking all crazy and shit. And I'm like, why does she get to walk through a hoe's video and not get to be a hoe? And that was my
why did Cardi put her in the video? It was Cardi's song, right?
Well, I don't know, but I didn't like. I felt like if it was gonna be a hoe video, let it be a hoe video all the way. Why does she get to be put up on a pedestal in a hoe's video when it was supposed to be about hoeing in the first place? So why is she on a pedestal?
Because the black women put her on the pedestal in their video.
She can't dance.
You're right.
The black women did that. They chose to do that.
She
You're
had to
right.
walk through the video because she can't dance. You guys are looking way too far into this.
Why was she in
So
the video, Romperius?
She's in a video because she's friends with Cardi B.
so when you said black women have to do more, she just had to show up. Was your implication that Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion had to be popping their pussy lips like that?
No, I'm
No,
saying
they
like
know
all
how to
the.
dance and she can't.
I'm saying that all the other women in the video had to do a whole bunch of stuff. And it was mostly black women in that video. They had to do all the dancing around. They doing all kind of
Well,
crazy
hold on,
shit.
time out, time out. Background dancers dance. So I was looking at
Yeah,
Cardi
but she
B
should have been
and
in the
Meg Thee
background
Stallion.
dancing too.
No, no,
She
no.
wasn't.
If
She
she's
ain't no better than
famous, hold
nobody else
on.
in the
If she's
video.
she's better than a background dancer because we don't know who the hell the background dancer is. They're background
Actually, one
dancers.
of the
They're
background dancers was a
background.
very
Does
famous
anyone think
not
Kylie Jenner can
woman.
dance?
That person, the chick that she basically got a little solo spot dancing.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, now that's almost a fair point because I mean, but that really wasn't a background dancer. That was a featured
featured.
person. Yeah.
Right.
So, but Kylie
Yeah,
Jenner was featured and she didn't do any dancing. So now
exactly.
Because she can't dance.
you're spin moving it to comparing Kylie Jenner's
It's
feature
not a.
to the
It wasn't.
feature of hold on. You're comparing Kylie Jenner's feature to the feature of the other chick who I didn't know who the hell she was. What I'm talking about and what you responded to was me looking at the overall overt sexual objectness of Cardi B and Meg the Male Horse and comparing that to Kylie Jenner, and then you tried to make the spin move that oh well black women Cardi B and Meg the Male Horse have to do that. Kylie
I
Jenner
wasn't
didn't have
referring
to do it,
Cardi B and Meg. I didn't
but you
say
were
anything.
referring to Kylie Jenner.
I was definitely referring to Kylie Jenner being able to just show up and walk through a video. And it's like, why do you get to show up and walk through a video and be seen and be pedestalized in their video, which I thought was stupid. I thought it was a dumb move on their part myself, but
It was
I
the
just thought it was
opposite
crazy.
of being pedestalized. She just couldn't dance.
That's yeah, but I just saw her being pedestalized, and I didn't think that was cool. That's all it was to me.
I really didn't feel like she was being pedestalized. I think I said
Did you not just hear how Black Uru was like, where the white women at? Bow down to the white. You didn't hear it? Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, hold on. That's what I said.
I didn't hear that. No. I don't feel like she was put on a pedestal. I just think that she just
You've done some.
No, but I'm
Like, if they would've-
teasing. I'm teasing. But the way you were saying, like she was set apart from the other women. She did look more elegant. She did look more sophisticated. And you said it separated her and it separates other races of women in a certain way. So I absolutely agree with that.
I disagree. Her outfit was so tacky. So, Bernard, have you ever been at the club?
That was the only tacky outfit in the video.
Bernard, have you ever been at the club and then your favorite song comes on and you just start the boogieing and then you have a friend that just can't dance? You don't invite them onto the dance floor. You just start dancing with the nearest guy.
I can't relate.
Wait a minute, the nearest guy. What? Wait, what?
You just officially came out the closet, Rumperius.
There's guys in every club. What are you talking about?
Okay.
You just said you start dancing with the nearest guy. I mean,
Well, there's girls there too. It just so happened to be the guy was the nearest.
You just danced.
If the girl was nearest, I would have danced with her as well.
Whoever's the closest, pretty much. That's who you dance with.
Yes.
Okay.
But if your friend can't dance, you're not just gonna make them do it. They can't do it.
Yeah, it looks like the zebra is showing his two stripes here.
Demetrius Parham says, "Why are you entertaining her questions?" Good question, Demetrius Parham. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Sister George not denouncing the BFF imagery at all. She more offended by Kylie's presence.
That's
Thank you,
always
John
the case,
City.
isn't it? It's always the case. They always tell
No.
themselves
So
by
sick of
not only
toxic
what
men.
they say, but by what they don't say.
No, if we're talking about a hoe's video, I was talking about one aspect of the video, but these types of videos have been around for decades. Why is this fake outrage now? This is fake ass outrage. Who cares? These videos have been around for decades.
So why then
that was her concession of defeat. Now she just wants us to stop talking about it.
Right.
That's not a concession.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
She's like, okay, let's just not talk about it no more.
Yeah.
Y'all's asking, I'm leaving. Bye.
All right, thanks, Sister George. I appreciate you coming up. So always fun to take a trip down Fuckeryville for a second.
They always tell them themselves. They always do.
All right, and Jay Prophet says she wasn't put on a pedestal. She's in the video with the rest of them. Okay, what did that HS mean?
I think that means hoes.
Oh, with the rest of them hoes. Okay, see, I know I'm terrible with this. You take a vowel out of you can't remove the vowels and think I'm gonna figure it out. But but anyway, there are different types of hoes, which Cardi B and Meg talked post video. All right. He said, "Get her the white flag." Oh my goodness! Y'all are y'all killing me. We coming up on the 2 hour mark. I got somewhere to be at 12:15. We almost about to. Damn, we almost about to wrap this up. No. Her wrench is not getting snatched today. It's normally when she start, doing, just outright destructive shit. Going after people. I think she used to be, deleting comments and arguing with people and just on some bullshit. But she don't be doing that now. She be slipping in just small little, she like to slip in like a little splash of fuckery, not a full, pint of fuckery. It's mostly juice, just a little splash of fuckery. That's I can deal with that. She's not losing her wrench. I can deal with a little splash of it. She happy. Oh man, y'all got me. We shutting it down at the 2 hour mark. Romperius. I'm trying to remember the name of somebody you might know. What was that? Damn it, Black Widow, were you listening to Zero's channel? Because I don't want Romperius to break character, so I don't want to ask him. Were you listening to Zero's channel?
No.
He did an impression. He made up a character. I think it was fucking something McShortcock or something. I forgot to do his name. Romperius Jackson. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, none of my friends have short cocks.
How do you know?
I think Romperius knows.
I mean, showers exist.
Oh man.
So how many of your friends you shower with, Romperius?
I mean, guys, come on. We all go to the gym together. The shower is public.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
Zone says the white girl in red Instagram. A white girl in red Instagram. What the hell is that?
I think he's referring to. I mentioned earlier there was another white-ish looking girl. I don't know if she was white or Latina or whatever that was featured in the video, and it was all red. I think that's who he's referring to.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was this kind of a devil scene where she was in red and everything was in red and black and looks like the walls were bleeding blood. And very good family fun there.
Oh man, I'm done. We got. Well, I was about to say we got 272 people in here. It just dropped down to 259 instantly, almost instantly. But yeah, I got nothing else. I got nothing else to add today. So if Rumperius, you want to have some final words of wisdom, of of cuckery wisdom that you think you need to impart on all of us, man, we'll take those wise words and close out the show with that, man.
Well, I just want to say thanks for having me up, and
Whoa, why you pronounce the P so hard on that up? God damn. That was the hardest P I ever heard in my life.
I feel somewhat violated.
Yeah. God damn it.
I don't want to go now.
I quit, man. I quit.
That P was strong, man.
I don't know where I am. I don't want to be here.
Yo, that P was hard as fuck.
Yeah. That's where we are now. We're in a Rumperius world right now. we're in a Rumperius world.
Yo, if you would have said shit about that P, I was gonna keep going.
I heard that, and I was gonna just ignore it and let you close it out. I wasn't gonna really say anything. I just was gonna feel uncomfortable by myself.
You do not know how many times I had to mute up. I was fucking dying.
Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah, the Rumperiuses, they rule.
No, that's how them niggas think, man.
Yeah, they rule, man.
Oh shit!
Oh man!
He said that P was a little bit too hard. He said, "Whoa! Wait a minute!"
Yeah, I had to stop the show on that P, man. DJ Naps for the Rumperius pop. Yeah, I'm not saying
yeah. The messed up part is gonna be when the Rumperius algorithm is connected to your site. Then you're gonna start getting very popular among Bernard amongst certain other Rumperius types.
You're gonna have a whole chat room full of yas.
Shout out to the news. Everyone give Rumperius 3 snaps in a yah.
A lot of finger snappers.
Yo, I tried to troll Bernard when I said, yeah, when you dancing in the club, you just start popping. He was like, no, I can't relate.
Yeah. Well, no, it took a turn when Rumperius said, you just start dancing next to with some guys.
Yeah,
he's like, oh, wait, what?
He just start dancing with the nearest dude. I thought he was gonna let it slide. He was like, wait. It's like, what you mean?
Oh man.
That's fucked up.
Yep.
Well, now that you out of character, what was that other character you opened up your show with a guy? I forgot his name. You know him?
Oh shit, I forgot, man. It was like McCockshort.
Yeah, it was a first name, but the last name was McCockshort. and you
was it like Weenie? Weenie McCockshort.
Might as well. He stayed in that one for like 30 minutes, just a monologue, and then opened up the panel and they just played on it for like a whole nother hour, it seemed. That shit just went on forever.
You gotta bow down, man. Pussy is undefeated. Oh man, that fucked me up. This nigga went the whole show without questioning it until it got to the P. He's like, I'm done at the P. It was too hard.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of graphic, you know. It just seemed kind of visual. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like something you don't want to see as a man.
No, man, it be people that talk like that. This shit is funny.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they be trying to send out them little choosing signals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta put out their
shit.
smoke signal. They smoke. Yeah, they gotta carry their banner around, let everybody know what team they own.
I was trying to find that picture of Westbrook when he was in the romper, but I didn't want to get I don't want to get you flagged. I didn't want to get you flagged.
Cam Newton was in a romper too.
Yeah, Cam Newton was in a romper too.
That was like 6'6" in a damn romper, man.
I know, man. That shit is crazy.
That should never happen, man. You can't be a 270-pound, 6'6", 270-pound black guy in a damn romper, man.
And then they try to mean mug, and it's like, bro, there's no way you can look hard in the romper. You can't, motherfucker. It's
and I don't know if he had his Aunt Jemima scarf on that day or whatever. It's just all bad.
All right, yeah, real talk. I gotta go for real. Go for real.
All right, man.
If I don't get off here. All right, yeah, peace,
All right,
everybody, peace.
Later.